The storm is gone, but a shiver runs down my spine as I see the aurora outside. Thoughts of being mauled by a bear flash in my head. The airplane comes into view, and I hear wolves running scared. I don't know what's wrong with them, but I'll take this opportunity to make my way in. It's not a passenger airplane. It's full of cargo bins. Although, most of them are lost. Seeing as I'll need to spend some time breaking open these containers, I start the fire to warm up and get to work. I find an assortment of clothes, food, tea and coffee, medical supplies, and animal furs. There is a lot to take back, and I found no new info about what is going on or any hints about my friends. Just more desolation. As the day comes up, I check again, managing to spot a fire striker I missed before. Then I start making my way down, carefully navigating down the mountain, cutting straight to the hut, quickly finding myself near the engine of the plane. It seems the moose is gone for now, seeing the hut soon after. I put away the excess items and consider what to do next. I haven't found any oil, and no info about what is going on. Then again, if the world was affected at the same time by the geomagnetic storm, there was no chance to exchange information. The fact remains that electricity comes back during the aurora borealis, which is weird in itself. Maybe I'll have to do the research myself. I stitched some of my clothes before going to sleep, deciding to go find some other path out of this mountain area. Perhaps they found some other way out of here. After making myself more arrows and a new bow, it's time to hunt, as I'll need food for this journey. I managed to land a hit on a buck, and then had to follow its footprints to find it. It bled out close to the hut. That's lucky. What wasn't lucky was the fact I can't make a fire here, and it's too heavy for me to move it. I'll warm up back at the hut and try again. I'll try and get the whole thing in one go, coping with the cold out of necessity. Then cook it for the rest of the night. The weather is nice, but way too windy for my taste. I make it to the rope area, then explore the top of it until I find the cave in the corner. It's a good place to explore like any other, so I make my way through it, realizing only halfway through that I forgot to bring any food with me. I make some teas to stave off the hunger and cold. There is a blizzard outside, and since I found myself in an unknown region, I waited out before venturing forward. Now that I can see, I look around, immediately getting spotted by a pack of wolves. I tried to stay out of reach, but I can't get a good enough angle to shoot them. They seem afraid of fire, so I risk going down and hide inside the trailer nearby. As I come out, they are gone. I follow the road pointing to the mines, thinking maybe I'll find tools up there, coming across a hut on the way there. But there are wolves nearby. I ran away in fear last time, but I'll face them now, as the wind picked up and I'm left in the corner fighting for my life. With the wolf pack gone, I make it to the hut, grab some matches, and after warming up for a bit, I keep going. I hear an all too familiar sound, and before I know it, I have a bear right next to me. Stepping back, I rush to make a fire to keep myself safe. The bear is standing still, maybe waiting for me to step away. then decides to lay down? I'm not taking any risks, so I shoot him. Besides, dummy me forgot to bring food, so I need to cook more to stay alive. I start the fire to cook the bear, but lacking wood to do the whole thing, I go and collect more, only for a blizzard to catch me off guard. There must be a cave nearby where the bear came from, and it's free real estate now. At least it's warm enough in there to avoid the cold. As the storm blows over, I go back to work on the bear, spending nearly all night to get it all stripped down. The meat is not too bad, reminds me of beef, though it is my understanding I must cook it well to eat it, or I'll be infected with parasites. I'll trust my cooking skills, get it all in the travois and move on. The mines are not going to be a good idea now, since the cougar might get me like the bear nearly did. I'll follow the road the opposite way and see where it leads me. The day is nice, but the wind is horrible, forcing me to stop frequently to warm up again. At least the meat will keep me going for a while. Black Rock, huh? I don't remember seeing this on the map, but it seems I'm getting somewhere. And as the night falls, it finally makes sense. It's not like a prison will be a tourist location to be advertised. I check the security guard door and settle in for the night. Past the door, I am welcomed by the local wolves. I was hoping and dreading that the prison would have someone left behind, but at least this is something I can deal with. I explore the places I go. It looks like an explosion happened here, perhaps the result of a malfunction? A riot? Both? There is little to nothing here, but I keep exploring, the damage growing as I move deeper, taking a baseball bat and ball as a consolation prize. In the cell block, all cells are open, bullet holes everywhere. Whatever happened here wasn't good. Then a scene out of a horror movie, showing signs of torture happening in this cell. I don't want to stay here 1 second longer than I must. Next to the inmate, a bulletproof vest lies on the floor. The only thing I found here that can be useful. In a hurry, I get out of here. I set up my travois again and make a move, looking for a way out of this region, having to deal with the locals as I go. They are just so hard to shoot, always moving, but after shooting 2 of them, the pack disperses. Having to stop and rest, I take the first turn trying to find a place to catch a break and warm up. But not even inside the car is warm enough to get warmer. I keep moving, hoping for better shelter, the travois slowing me down, but carrying a lot of food and loot I don't want to give up. Finding a sign for Milton, a local town, I'm happy to follow it, just to be crushed, realizing the bridge is blocked. I desperately look for a way through, but I found none. At least I found shelter. I start a fire, warm up, and keep going, my mind set, searching for a path to cross this bridge. Finding one just around the corner. But with night coming soon, I go back to look for a place to sleep, getting spotted by a bear. With no other choice but to fight, I get ready, and by circling it around, I manage to get on top of a tree and take a shot at him. He runs away, but bleeding off, he doesn't get far. I start a fire and get inside. Then, as a blizzard hits, an old substation provides me shelter for the night. The day is nice enough. And past the bridge, I find myself going across a tunnel. Then a bridge to my right. I light up a fire to think, how am I going to get past it with all my loot, as the travois is not going to be able to go past it. I could go back and forth to carry it all, but odds are this is not the last time I'll have to do it. Not wanting to risk my life over this, I grab what I can't find anywhere else and leave all the miscellaneous loot behind. Maybe someone else will find this and be grateful to find food and water in the middle of nowhere. Past the bridge, I find a hut, prompting me to rest for the night, even though it's in a really bad shape. It has a wood stove though. That should keep me warm through the night. After warming up a few brews for the journey ahead, I make a push to walk through the night while the weather allows it. Being caught in a blizzard now is the last thing I need. The path seems to be cutting through the mountains, getting more claustrophobic the deeper I go. As the day breaks, I finally get out of there, feeling free. Just be thrown into an ice cave this time. At least the place is pretty. On the other side, I'm greeted by a couple of wolves. After making quick work of them, I find a road, following it, as every road must lead to a town or something. In this case, something was the thing I found. A trailer will do to rest for a bit. Still unsure of where this is, I push forward, sighing in relief when I spot the radio tower in Pleasant Valley, giving me a good idea of how to return home. I rush to the top, trying to get to the tower, until a wolf changed my mind, making me go downhill instead to avoid them and get to safety as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I'm caught out in the blizzard on the other side, forcing me to look for shelter midway to the dam to warm up. Feeling so close to home in safety, I push through the blizzard to get to the dam. I know my way around it, so after quickly reaching the exit, I lay down my bedroll and rest until the blizzard goes away to minimize the risk, as I'm not feeling that healthy. The blizzard is gone, but I'm not feeling that well, and it's late at night. It's best for me to rest in the trailer and move on in the morning. Damn it! Another blizzard? Ugh, fine, I'll wait it out. There you go. It should be a smooth walk home now. Even though the snow was falling, soon enough the sun shines through, lighting a torch for extra protection against the wildlife. And good thing I did, because a wolf stalked me right after. I spook it away, not confident in my aim as I'm shaking so much. For my prize, I get a bunny that he caught though, plus a bird for good measure. That was one starved doggy. Sorry, not sorry. It's survival of the fittest here. Man, am I happy to see you. I grab something to eat and get cozy inside, preparing the bunny and the bird, resting my bruised by the cold body. The trip left me in a good place, despite all the hardship, making me confident about surviving out here. I can only hope I'm not the only one. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.